Welcome to all of you astrology friends. Welcome to this reading. Welcome to this full moon reading in Capricorn. This is for all the 12 signs, but I always start with a bit of an introduction that is really for everyone, for the collective, you could say. So let's delve into this. When is this? This is around and about, depending on where you're living, around the 21st, 22nd of June. We're going to have a full moon in Capricorn. That means the moon will be round at about 1 degree of Capricorn and opposing the sun at 1 degree of Cancer. So we're going to have that full moon up there. Now, what does it mean? In particular for a full moon in Capricorn, which is always occurring around this period of time in the year. And then we're going to have a look at what it is that the aspects of the moon. Is this an easy one? Is this a challenging one? And so on and so on. First of all, full moons are culminations. Full moons are, yes, this is what we are going to see. This is bringing it into consciousness, so to speak. And it is awareness for sure. So for people, and certainly in the area of life that relates to Capricorn, where that falls in your chart, so go to the specific, all the 12 signs if you want to know more about that. But it depends on what area of life, but you're going to feel that energy of, there's something that comes to fruition. There's something that becomes conscious. There's something that is very, very seen. And that is full moons for sure. Now in Capricorn, this means this full moon is ruled by Saturn. Capricorn is all about work. It's all about discipline. It's all about the things that you want to accomplish and the effort and commitment that you want to take for that. And this full moon is already going to show you how far you are with that particular area of your life. So of course, in general, you could say yes, for a lot of people, this will relate to their work life, to their life-work balance, because the sun is still in Cancer, right? Or still, it just entered Cancer, and the moon is in Capricorn. So this is work-life balance. This is restoring the balance. This is, you might have worked too much and neglected your family, or the other way around. You might have been chilling too much and cocooning, and you've neglected the work. So it is a perfect time for that, for restoring that balance for sure. That is very, very general. Now, for lots of us, it will have to do with this area of our lives where when we work hard in that area, we're going to have the results. That's what Capricorn is all about. It wants to climb the ladder, but it's going to do that with effort, with consistent effort, not making one video every 2 months, but every week. Making a video, that's Saturn, that's Capricorn energy. You want to get somewhere. You're going to go by working hard, by doing actions. Now, the ruler Saturn, of course, is in Pisces. And it's been there for a while. So the ruler of it is in a sign that is quite, the opposite, you could say. Or that is quite like more that yin energy of go with the flow. And if you want something, just trust. I'm exaggerating here a little bit, but that's the Pisces energy. But Saturn is really working hard there to get what the Piscean energy wants and to make structure out of that. Now, what is the area in itself with all these energies? And what happened just before the full moon and what's going to happen just after that? Now, just before we're going to come out of a T, what we call in astrology a T-square, and a very, very annoying one, because it's a Neptunian T-square, where just before this full moon occurs, we have that energy of insecurity, uncertainty, and if you're watching this on the, what are we today, the 21st, or you can't watch this on the 20th because anyway, but I'm uploading it on the 21st. But anyway, that was not a good joke, was it? Anyway. What I'm trying to say here is that when you're watching this and you feel you're coming out of an energy of, I don't know where we're going, it's all mushy, it's all like, it's chaos. It's supposed to be like that because the clarity is going to come very quickly. I'll tell you in a minute. So what we're having just before this full moon is the sun at the very end of Gemini and 29 degrees of Gemini, squaring to Neptune in Pisces, so making it very foggy. And then, of course, the moon is also going to be in Sagittarius at the very end of Sagittarius, T-squaring all of this. What this means is chaos. It's all mutable energy. It means like, yes, this week we're going to go to the left, and next week we're going to go to the right. And even it's the first hour of the day, you wake up and you think, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then the second hour, because of circumstances, you have to go to the left and then to the right. So flexibility is so needed when we have all that mutable energy because you don't know the outcome. So that is an annoying energy, especially it depends on your character. If you have a character like, oh yeah, go with the flow, keep on swimming, go to the left, go to the right, you're fine. But if you're someone who really is result oriented and you want to control and you want to know, yes, will I have to go on a travel next week? Yes or no? But there are circumstances that are maybe shifting that and that are maybe not clear today, that you can't have the answer, whatever you're going to do, right? It's like pulling on the grass. You can't make it grow faster by doing that. So, but the good news is that during this full moon, clarity is really going to come on the 22nd of June. We're going to have more clarity. And then even more, we're going to get out of that confusion and come more towards stability because Venus and Mercury, these are other planets, Venus and Mercury are also in Cancer, but they're applying to a stability aspect, which is called a trine. And that gives a much, much more stability. And that's beautiful. So Venus and Mercury will be at 5 degrees and Venus at 6 degrees and Mercury at 10 degrees of Cancer. And it's about to make a trine to that Saturn, the ruler of this full moon in Pisces, around and about, you could say, is it 18 or 19 degrees of 19 degrees already in Pisces. So we're gonna have more stability. It's as simple as that. After the full moon, we're gonna get more and more stability, mental stability. Mercury trining Saturn, we're gonna see clarity. That is beautiful. That is really beautiful. Mercury trining Saturn. And also Venus trining Saturn, it means our feelings are going to be more realistic, more stable, more down to earth. So it's really a beautiful culmination, for sure. Now, what is the annoying part? So there's balancing out of the work life. There is from confusion to stability. This all sounds great, doesn't it? All during and after this full moon. But an annoying thing is the following, and it's the one that I want to prepare the most and explain the most, which is the moon. Whilst it is in Capricorn, it's going to oppose not only the sun, but after that, it's going to oppose Venus, moon opposite Venus, and moon opposite Mercury. And that's going to be during the full moon and also a couple of days after that. Not a couple of days, maybe let's say during the full moon and after that. So you're going to feel that on the 22nd, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, something like that. Moon opposite Venus, moon opposite Mercury. It's one of my most yucky kind of transits and aspects that I explain when I'm doing a reading, for instance. This is not my favorite aspect, and I'll tell you why. It's underestimated. People think, oh, the moon is a nice planet, Venus is a nice planet. When they oppose, it's not so bad. It can be super annoying. Why? An opposition always shows that there is a split, that there is like this paradox, that there is one cannot live without the other, but it's difficult to merge them as well. And when we have that with the two female planets, Moon and Venus, in an opposition, it means that it's almost a paradox, almost impossible to what we need, the moon, and what we want, Venus, or what we value. It's in an opposition, right? And we know that the consequences of that, it's frustration, it's not feeling joy and not feeling happy, right? So for instance, with the Venus in Cancer, you might value to be at home and to be with your children and cuddle in the, watch Netflix sometime together with your family and so on, with a nice glass of wine, of course, and having beautiful movie and good warm comfy food, whatever that is to you. But then it opposes the moon, and the moon is in Capricorn and just needs to work a lot. So you see that opposition. It's a very black and white opposition that I'm explaining here. It's going to be different for everyone, but you see what I mean? So if you're going to just sitting there in the couch and doing nothing, you're not going to be happy. The moon is going to say, hey, well, what about the work? What about the bills that we have to pay here and so on? And when you're just working, you're gonna be fulfilled with your need of whatever the need is for you, being of service, being able to pay the bills, whatever. But you're gonna feel, hey, I want to be with my kids, or I want to just cuddle up, or whatever. You see, this is a very annoying opposition. So it shows, but it's frustration. It shows that it's going to be very hard for us to fully embrace something. Now, what is the trick? The trick is to always with oppositions, the trick is to balance these out. The trick is to have I'm going to timeshare. It's a very business term, I know, but I always use it when I see in the horoscope people who have a natal aspect between the moon and Venus. Ooh, these are people who are never, I'm not going to say that they are never happy, but they just have a hard time with being happy. They just have a hard time because what their soul wants is not the same as what they really, really need in life. I mean, we always get what we need, don't we? We don't always get what we want, you see? So it's and it's going to be shown to us. It's going to be shown to us. Now, what to do? To be frustrated and unhappy? No. The clue is that you need both of them. You are at your best when you implement these two oppositions in your life. In other words, that you would, and you do that in a time-sharing way, like a business owner. You would say, okay, we're going to work 4 hours a day here. Maybe today it's a Saturday, I know, but yeah, we're going to work 4 hours today. And then after those 4 hours, I'm going to spend 4 hours with family. You know, you're going to do and I'm going to be fully present. When I'm going in these 4 hours for family, I'm not going to sit on my phone. I'm not going to call. That is a trick, to be fully embodying the Venus and the moon, because if not, it's going to come up. People, if you're sitting with your family watching a beautiful movie, and kids know that, right? Or and not only kids, I mean, adults for sure, that you're texting all of the time, you're doing, oh yes, but just this one call and just this one call. You're not fully present and you're not honoring what you're doing in the moment. And the same when you're at work, and you know, it's really that balance. It's one of the hardest things, right? You could say, and certainly with the work-life balance, because, you know, that's the axis of the Cancerian and of the Capricornian energy. But that's what we're having. That's what we are working with. And this is temporary, but it is very important. If you go with the flow of these energies, if you're doing this time sharing, you're going to have a lot of rewards during this stability time of Venus and Mercury trining Saturn, which is amazing, which is a stability in relationships, Venus, and a stability in the mind. It's not being like when Mercury or even the sun, when it squares up to Neptune, it's all over the place, right? So you're going to be more centered after that. So what an interesting time. Let's have a look in very quickly to the 12 signs. Very quickly, what are the 2 areas of your life where you need to have that time-sharing energy? So I think the point is very easy here. And I know that people who are watching my videos, that they like that. And that's also what I am all about. I want clarity, right? And I want things not to be too complex. Life is already complex enough. Just what's going on here. For Aries, this is the 10th house that is going to be, you could say, you're going to see what's going on there. So the 10th house is your work. So this is for you, definitely the life-work balance for sure. To make a balance between those two. Maybe in the past, right, there was like, the balance was a bit like this. I should say like that, right? So you have an opportunity here to restore it, whatever it is for you. If you're not working, the 10th house is your contribution to society. What is your contribution to society? And to restore that with your family life, with your home, and with how you, if you say, Veerle, I haven't got any family, when it's about your emotional comfort. So that balance between those two houses, nothing more, nothing less. For the Taurians, it's the 9th house that is lighted up there with that full moon. And the 9th house versus the 3rd house where the sun is and this Cancerian energy is, the 9th house is your mind. It's the higher mind. So something needs to be restored between your vision on a, you could say, larger scale, and your vision of a day-to-day basis, which is your mind, right? Your mind and the things that you think on a daily basis. There needs to be also more of a balance. You might be too much in your head in the bigger picture, and it's not really realistic, or the other way around. So there is a balancing out of these things, and something is going to become clear around 9th house stuff. That could be travel, it could be studies, it could be learning, teaching, but it's also your mindset. So there could be revealed something around your mindset. Maybe your mindset, you've been working hard on it to become more realistic, to become more, or a bit more stretching your mindset. Maybe your mindset was too rigid and you want to stretch it a little bit more. Gemini, this is your 8th house. This is a really, really, you could say, a house behind the scenes. So this full moon, it illuminates this 8th house of yours, and it opposes the 2nd house. So this is all about worth. This is all about what you value. This is all about what do you think is important in life for you, and what, especially if you are in a relationship, what is important for that other person that you are sharing your life with, for instance, and that you are sharing your resources with. So there is like, you need to balance this out, what you value, what they are valuing. It could be a bit like this or like this, whatever it is. It's time now to restore. So you could be into ego struggles around values when you are in a relationship, which is annoying. And but it's about balancing these two out. It's better to balance than to say, oh yeah, I'm going to fully follow you, or you have to fully follow me. Like in the song, Follow Me, Amanda Lear. Anyway, who knows Amanda Lear of you Geminis out there? If you do, comment below. Cancerians, this is all relationships for you. So this is the balance, because this full moon is in your 7th house of relationships, and the sun and Venus and Mercury is in your 1st house. So this is 1st house, 7th house, which is you and a particular person. Even if you're not in a romantic relationship, this is someone else, or this is your attitude. And there is an imbalance. It's like this. So you might have done too much in the relationship, the other person sitting here, and you have to restore that. Or you've been walking all over this other person, and this other person is asking you to restore the balance, and, well, not asking friendly, if you know what I mean. So there is a restoration, a restoring of the balance that is necessary for sure. And it's about being realistic. And the work that you've been doing before, the last couple of weeks in particular, is going to show where you are standing. So it's impossible to say like, yeah, I'm doing everything and they're doing nothing in a relationship. I'm investing like 100, 1,000% in my relationship, and they are not. It's not gonna, it's gonna frustrate you so much that you're gonna say, look, this, we have to change this. And sometimes this is necessary. So So yeah, for you, it's definitely relationships. It's a test. It's a big test for you for where am I in my relationship, and also for the other person. Again, if you're single, this could mean that something comes up that is very clear around relationships, around your needs and your wants, and how you can kind of balance these. Leos, your sixth house. This is all about your work, your day-to-day routines. If you're not working, it's your day-to-day life. It's the routines that you're doing. It's your health. It's your well-being when it comes to your lifestyle. All of this, there's something that comes up here. And there's like this opposition between your 12th house, which is the house where we kind of rest, escape, hopefully in a positive way, where we reload the batteries, and then the 6th house where we do the efforts to get out of the 12th house, which is the house of escapism. Right? So a lot can be revealed here. Might have been also like this, that you've been neglecting your health, or that there's a restoration here in the lifestyle for sure. Again, whether you work or not, you might have worked too hard and not taking time off. Now is the time to restore that, or the other way around. So there's a restoration going on in those areas. For Virgo, it's between the 5th house and the 11th house. So the 5th house, something will come up in that 5th house, and you're a fellow earth sign. So this is a rather nice full moon for you, because Capricorn and Virgo, that goes well together. But the 5th house is the house of your children. It's the house, so it could be connected to children. It could be connected to the 5th house is also a love relationship. The heart, it's the heart chakra for sure. It can also be related to things that have to do with how you enjoy yourself. How you enjoy yourself. What do you do when you have time off? And what do you do then as a hobby, as enjoying your life? Something comes out that is very clear to you, and that restores the balance between your enjoyment and what I just said, and also the 11th house, the other people, friends, the group of friends. So maybe you have been just fully focusing on friends, and you on that 11th house where the sun is and Venus and Mercury, and you have no time for really the things that you want to do from the heart center. And there's a restoration possible here. Or the other way around, maybe you're just doing what you're doing, you're being creative, doing videos, making videos, doing this, doing that, and your friends are saying, hey, what's up? We haven't seen you in months. What's going on? You know, that restoration. So you see, this is quite light, this full moon. It's not as dramatic. And so it's interesting to sort that out. Librans, this is in your 4th house. So this is important for the Librans because you are a cardinal sign, and Capricorn is also a cardinal sign. So your 4th house here, where that moon is, something can come up that relates to the 4th house, your home, your well-being, literally your home, and but also your family life. Something in the family can come up, something with a parent. So this is definitely life-work balance for sure for the Librans. So something comes up where you need to restore the balance between life and work. You need to restore the balance between you being up there in your the highest, where the sun is, and Venus and Mercury, your position in the world, how you want to be seen in the world, your work, your career, your contribution to the world, and that balance of, you know, feeling rooted, feeling connected to your roots, so to speak. So there is a restoration there for sure. Maybe a family member has been, or a parent has been needing a lot of your attention, and you're restoring that in some sort of way. Or the other way around. Scorpios, this is in the 3rd house. The 3rd house is a thinking house. So for you, it's on the thinking level. There could be a message that you're getting, or you giving a message to others that has to do with reality of your thoughts and your communication. So the 3rd house is your day-to-day life, your siblings, your neighbors, your how would I say? It's the way that you communicate. It's the way that you think on a daily basis. And it opposes that 9th house. So there's a restoration going on between the bigger picture and how you think, what you are believing in, your belief systems, and then the day-to-day thoughts that you're having. There's an imbalance there. You might have a belief system that you want to create. For instance, let's say you want to create a different belief system that is more suiting to who you are, which is the most difficult thing to do, changing your belief system. The belief system, for instance, let's say starting your own business or improving your business, let's say like that, that needs, you always thought, well, I can do my business without doing lots of PR, right? But maybe now you're saying, my belief system is now that, when I use the internet, when I use social media, people are going to know where I am. They're going to know my products, right? I can have the best product if no one knows that I have the best product, you see? And then that third house is your PR house. That third house is saying, yeah, but hey, you've got to have a website. You've got to have this. You've got to have that. And it's about restoring that balance between your mindset and between your day-to-day thinking patterns. So it's a lot about a restoration there of the thoughts. Sagittarians, this is in your second house. So the second house is the house of your values, the house of your confidence, the house of your money, the house of your talents. And something might have come up that relate to that relate towards your money, the status of your money, a shift that you have towards money and values, a shift in that value. And it opposes the value of, if you're living with a partner, for instance, the value of that partner, that opposition. So you might have had in the past a real being like this, you're here and they're here, and now you're restoring this. So that you come together with the same values. And that is a positive thing for sure, because when you have different values, there is those ego fights going on. You want to go to the left, they want to go to the right, they want black, they want white, they want you want yellow, they want orange. You see, it's like balancing out. And your confidence versus their confidence, like when your confidence is low, their confidence is high, or the other way around, so that you can restore it. And so it's a lot about that inner work for sure. Capricorns, the whole intro is applicable for you, of course. This is all about you. This is all about your connections and relationships, but even more your life path, right? So listen to the introduction. It's all for you there, especially when you have planets around 1 degree of Capricorn. You're going to feel this a lot. You're going to feel that there is this, you could say, paradox between, hey, yeah, but if I fulfill my needs, that other person is not happy. If I fulfill that other person's needs, I'm not happy. How am I going to balance these out? What am I going to do? Remember the time sharing. That is the solution for you for sure. Aquarians, this is in the 12th house. So this full moon is in the 12th house, and the sun and Venus and Mercury are in your 6th. So it is illuminating that the unconscious. So that is very valuable, because we all have big parts that we're not conscious of, blind spots and whatnot. There's going to be a highlight here. Of course, if you're that kind of person who doesn't want to grow and think you're perfect, you're not going to like this. But, I assume when people are into astrology, they are into getting to know themselves and do some inner work and creating the best version of yourself. This is very, very valuable, because there is a balance here between you tapping into the unconscious, tapping into what really drives you, which can be so different of what you thought it would be. And so going back to old patterns, doing some family constellation work, doing some doing some meditation can really, really, really offer you a lot of insight, so that you can restore the life between your consciousness, your unconsciousness, and that there's not such a big gap that you're not even knowing about, but that other people really, really know about you, right? So yes, there's a restoration between being healthy, working on your lifestyle and your work as well, and between relaxing. So that could be more of a restoring restoration there for sure. Pisceans, this is in your 11th house, so something comes to fruition, conclusion. When it comes to your 11th house, that could be a goal that you've been working on for so long, and now you see where it is. That could be also a connection with a friend or friends, that something comes to fruition and is very clear to you, and it opposes that 5th house. So it's about what you want for the future, your goals for the future, and how you can be still creative and be open to your own soul, so to speak. So that balance there. You might have a big goal, but you also might have that interest in doing things for yourself. And again, you might be, because of circumstances, a friend or a friend group or an association that you belong to or a group of people that you belong to might demand too much of your attention, so that you feel that you don't have your own voice anymore, and you might do something about it, right? Whether that would be like, oh, today, no, I social media, I'm going to do less of that so that I can do a little bit more other stuff like doing my own thing or doing a hobby and whatnot. But something is going to reveal itself when it comes to social activities and how to put that into balance with also what you like and what you find feeds your soul. Anyway, having said that, I wish you all the best full moon. Thank you so much for watching, and keep on subscribing and commenting and liking and sharing. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.